everyone, welcome back to some Train Simulator 2020. This is Orange Cactus Productions, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a short excursion trip here on Donner Pass, Southern Pacific Donner Pass. Found this beautiful reskin of the Southern Pacific SD45, number 7399, which is in a daylight scheme. I believe this was a real locomotive, but this whole consistent train is not. This is fictional entirely. These daylight coaches, although they might have run a train with that, I'm not sure. The scheme on the locomotive is real. But basically I decided to do a short excursion. We're going to go from Truckee Station to Sparks, which is about 37 miles. Not too far, but just far enough to have a nice relaxing little sort of cruise. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. So, gonna go ahead and release our old break-a-roolies. Wow, I really said that. I apologize. Get back in the cab here. Got our gyro light going, which is neat. Okay, release the brakes, hit the bell. A little throttle. A little horn. And I'm playing it off as we've already picked up our passengers. Throttle up a little bit more. Let's go to a minimal HUD. There we go. So hopefully everybody's doing good in this year of absolute chaos and uncertainty, and I don't know, man, it's just been such a weird time. It's so hard to describe. I mean, if you're living it, obviously you know what it's like, but for me it's just so hard. If I had to look back and describe it years later, it'll be very hard to describe. 2020, man. Coronavirus, political riots, just one thing after another. Tragic loss of a friend this year, unrelated to the virus. Just all sorts of weird stuff. But by the grace of God, I am still alive, and I'm still making videos about Train Simulator, and I'm still taking pictures of trains when I can, and doing all sorts of Railfan related stuff. Trying to keep somewhat positive during the midst of all this, which is much easier said than done. So, I mean, it is what it is. Life goes on. Are we getting a bit of a downgrade here? It looks like we will be. Throttle off a bit. But yeah, it's been one of those years. Just kind of want to forget it, but like everything in history, I suppose it has its place. What's our signal look like here? Yeah, it looks like we're good to go. I've got AI traffic enabled, so hopefully the game has me set as a priority, but I don't know, maybe not. Alright. So I need to bring up the big HUD here because I don't remember what I have for dynamic brakes. I'm just going to put them all the way on. And they aren't doing a thing. I guess the grade's not that steep. Yeah, 100% dynamic brakes and they're not doing anything. I wonder, does this locomotive not have dynamics? Oh no, it definitely does. But they ain't doing a thing. Yes, I know I'm speeding. This is a locomotive brake. I want this brake. There we go. I'm just gonna keep working this down the hill. But yeah, this year has been absolutely crazy. I mean, I can't wait for the election to be done. I can't wait for the virus to be done. I can't wait for life to get back to some form of normalcy. Because it's just really, really, really miserable right now. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm not very peppy or enthusiastic. I'm very tired these days, and I'm really not doing much of anything. Even though doing nothing in theory should make it so that you're not exactly tired. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Boy, dynamic brakes are not doing anything. Well, okay, that's not true. Maybe they are keeping the train slow a little bit. So we're not just barreling down the hill. Yeah, I just want it all to be over, honestly. I mean, there are some highlights of this year. I got some really awesome railroad books. But beyond that, I don't know. It's just tough. I'd like to be able to go out and actually capture some video of Norfolk Southern, but it's a lot harder to get around than it used to be. Here I go again with the locomotive brake. I gave it a little too much. So I hope your 2020's been going decently. I hope you've been staying safe and enjoying time with family and friends. And just not worrying about too much. Because that's the one thing that we really need to avoid is worrying. You know, you get too worried and then what does that solve? How does that fix anything that's wrong? It doesn't. This is a nice little cruise here, though. Nice little train. Didn't realize how long of a grade this was, though. Good night. Nice little river there. I know Donner Pass is pretty... It's pretty steep railroading. even today, with the Union Pacific, who now owns and controls this route. Okay, we got an all clear, but the track on the right, they have a yellow. Proceed slowly. Let's look out the window. Yeah, those dynamic brakes screaming. Nice river, though. So this is by no means an express train. This is just kind of see the sights and enjoy the map type deal. It's been a while since I've actually played this. I've been pouring all my resources into Trains: A New Era. It's a great game. I love Trains: A New Era. But, you know, I think as far as control and as far as actually driving the trains, this is a better simulator. In terms of custom content, Trains is hard to beat, but I don't know. This it feels like an overall better simulator. I haven't played Trains 19, but from what I'm hearing, it's really not that much of an improvement over Trains: A New Era. And plus, it's ridiculously expensive. So, if I ever do get it, it'll be on a Steam sale, most likely. But for now, I just go back and forth between this and Trains: A New Era. And sometimes you'll see recordings from both. I think with Trains: A New Era, my rule now is I'm not going to do commentary on those videos. I'm just going to do the whole text thing. But with these videos, I'll try to commentate them because I know more or less what's going to happen. Makes things just a little easier. I love the realistic cab shake and the sounds. The air sounds in this are absolutely phenomenal. I haven't spent too much time with the SD45 in this game, and I forgot how good of a locomotive it actually is. Gosh, that's awesome. So what I'm doing basically is just trying to keep the speed at least 40 or under. You can see it climbs real fast because it's just all downgrade. For those who aren't familiar with railroad terminology, a grade is basically a hill. Its height is largely based on numbers, from 1 up to, I think some of the biggest grades are at least 4%. So, thankfully we don't have to deal with that. And it looks like we've got some flat land here where it's 0%. But alright, I'll turn the dynamics off. So now we got 0.1%. Hopefully we'll get some uphill action because that's what I like. I like going upgrade instead of downgrade. Really putting the locomotive to work. I mean, going downhill is too with dynamic braking because it's basically, you know, using the engine to slow the train down. Putting the engine in reverse in a sense. Looks like we're going to go downgrade again once we get past this next signal. Boca Track West 2. I love the sound set on this locomotive. That 645 or 643 20 cylinder. It's rare. Very rare these days. I do kind of wish that more of the locomotives that came with the game had better sound packages. Oh yeah, we're definitely going downgrade over here. We're already up to 16 minutes. I don't know how long I'm going to make this. We still got quite a ways to go. So I think I am going to split this into 2 parts. So what I'll do is I'll cut the video off here, and I will see you guys in the next part when we're closer to our destination. So, thank you very much for watching, and hope you put up with my semi-depressing ramblings. This has been Orange Cactus Productions, and I will see you guys next time. God bless. Have a good one. Peace. Alright, so disregard the goodbye I gave in my last clip. We're not quite done yet. I've decided to put it all into one video instead of splitting it into multiple parts. I don't know if I'm going to edit out that outro or not. But I figured, you know what? The heck with it. It'll just be easier to put it into one video. So, we're 5 miles out from our destination. And as you can see, we're sort of in the valley of the mountains here. Let me get outside. Very nice, very nice. Not sure what those towers are. It doesn't look like they're fully rendered in yet. Alright, now we got some flat land so we can put on a little power. They look like overhead cranes, but I don't think they are. Or some kind of scrapyard? Yeah, it looks like a scrapyard. So maybe it is overhead cranes. I don't know. Oh, we're coming on a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. So I have to be mindful of that. Hopefully there's not more downhill sections while we do this. But I hope everybody's been enjoying this clip. I know there's not much to it, but I figured we'd just take a nice little spin down Donner Pass. Just something to do. Something nice to look at, something nice to listen to. And there pops in the building, and that building's popping in with golden rays for some reason. What was that all about? Hotels. Oh well. Proceed slowly. I don't know if this is Sparks, Nevada. It looks like it could be. I mean, that would explain why everything is sort of sparking in. And the bright lights everywhere. And I'd put my bell on. There's a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. I'm not going to bother with the horn because there's several crossings. Pretty swanky. Reno Station. Oh, this is Reno. So we are in Nevada. Huh. Well, that explains quite a bit. Very nice, very nice. Arcade. I wish there were big signs for arcades like casinos these days. I think those are supposed to be casino signs, but because of the rating of the game, they couldn't get away with, you know, actual casino signs. Don't know why I turned my bell off. It's a safety thing, you should always have it on. Oh, there's a casino. That's a glitch. I think that's an invisible building. And there's the famous Reno sign. Biggest little city in the world. Yeah, there's definitely a couple glitches here. That's pretty cool. I didn't know this went through Reno. I'm not all too familiar with Donner Pass. Or at least this section of it. I know it was between California and Nevada, but... that's just speeding a little. So I'm sure this video is going to run a little long. I can turn that bell off now. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. Now, I heard between Reno and Vegas, the better of the two to go to is Reno. But I'm not a gambler, so I don't know. That's just what I've heard. Maybe being smaller of a city, it's a little bit more manageable. Oh, speeding a little more. So I'll get at least 2 speeding, or probably about 4 speeding penalties. A lot of stuff you didn't see going down those mountain grades. This is a pretty cool depiction, though, of Little Reno. I've never been to Nevada, so I couldn't tell you. Too hot for my liking. Middle of the desert. Although it looks like Reno is situated in more wooded areas of Nevada, as opposed to Las Vegas, which is literally smack dab in the desert. So that's probably another reason why people say it's better. But again, I don't know because I've never been. So I really can't speak on that. You might hear my dog barking in the background. I apologize. She gets excited at different things she hears if people are at the door. Only 2 miles to go. Closer to the edge of town, so I'll use my horn, why not? Oh, almost ready to hit 30 miles an hour, but we don't really need it. It's that little extra boost to get us to the station, I guess. This is one of the best sounding locomotives in the game, hands down. At least in cab. Outside, I think there's a glitch because that constant whirring sound, that should be the dynamic brakes, but it sounds like they're on all the time, which isn't really realistic. So, I don't know what's going on with that. Sparks track W2. So, we're going the right way, we know that. But thank you for joining me on this journey. I know this is going to be a bit of a longer video, probably 30 plus minutes at this point. But easier to render one big video than split it into 2 parts, make 2 thumbnails and 2 descriptions, all that. This is a whole lot easier. Especially if I cut off the portion where where I sort of preemptively did the outro. I might have to trim that back. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I'm very limited in my editing tools. But we should be coming up on here any minute now. Any second. Little intermodal facility there. Sort of. Or some intermodal containers. I didn't see an overhead crane. Nah, no overhead crane. Just a bunch of stacks sitting around. So we're literally only a few feet from the station. That's why I'm not getting on the throttle at all. Want to line it up as best I can. In real life, I'd have a conductor telling me where I'm at, so I can line it up. But I'll do fine just by myself. And there is a nice yard here. Alrighty, I think the platform is just up ahead. Again, stuff still pops in, texture pop in, so you have to forgive that. That's just the game being the game. There's a big tank of some sort, not sure what that's about. I see the platform. So once again, thank you for joining me on this journey. It's been fun. And hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. Wherever it may be. Whatever simulator it may be, or wherever I may be filming trains. Hopefully I can get more actual railfanning videos out once things sort of settle down with COVID and all that jazz. But it'll just take some time, like anything. Oh, this is a nice depot. It's got a bit of a yard tower, and not bad. Not bad at all. Sparks, Nevada. Sparks, Nevada. And beautiful. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, folks, and I will see you guys in the next video. This has been Orange Cactus Productions. God bless, have a good one, and see you further down the line. Peace.